Ekman-Larsson being available tonight for you?
Yes.
This year, Craig?
Well, he's been a very good player in this league for a long time. I think experience, winning a cup, that experience, what he went through there, you know, he's been a really good all-around defenseman for us, in my opinion, in all situations. You know, whether, you know, he's a type of guy that very versatile, moving him around with different partners, playing the right side, power play, penalty kill. You know, he's kind of a guy that we really count on in different situations and in different roles more than anything. And he's very accepted of it and handles it well.
How does coaching a team to a Stanley Cup win help guide you through what starts tonight?
Well, it definitely helps the experience and just playoffs in general and coaching in playoffs and what to expect and how to keep your team composed and calm and talk about the things that come up in games and series, shift to shift, all that stuff. You know, it's important to have composure. There's a lot of ups and downs. We know that. A lot of things go wrong, things go right, and, you know, discipline's very important.
You guys have more playoff experience in the locker room than they do, of course. A lot of debuts for them tonight. How big of an advantage or how big of a factor can that be in a series in your experience?
I don't really look at it like that. I mean, they like I said, that's a good team over there. They've earned every right to be in the playoffs the way they played this year and what they've accomplished. We just got to be ready for what's going to come with them. I mean, that team's going to come hard and they're going to push. They got a lot of good players over there. They play a good disciplined style of game. That's what I'm focused on.
How much of last night's games did you watch? A couple of your players
Yeah.
said it helped them get into the feel about
Yeah, I
discipline,
watched
what's
both
gonna be
games.
called.
Yeah. You know, I thought you know, it's physical, right? That's what I see. Physical hockey. You know, you watch the St. Louis Blues game and how physical St. Louis was the first two periods, and you know, that's what you got to expect, and just the battle and the compete out there. You know, that's playoff hockey.
What's it like for you when you wake up the morning of Game 1? Emotions, feelings?
I'm excited. You know, I'm excited for it for sure. You know, that's what you play all year for, is to get to this situation and have the opportunity to compete in the playoffs. And we've done that, so we're here. I'm excited and just focused, you know, of what we need to do and trying to prepare our team the best way. You know, we do what we can do, but ultimately they've got to go on the ice and play.
Greg, with a player like Brady Tkachuk, do you say anything specifically about how the guy should approach facing him, or do you not single him out, I guess?
No, we talk about players on the other team for sure, and it's something we go over with not only him, but their team and individuals that have tendencies to do certain things and what you can expect out of them and all that stuff. So he was definitely talked about.
What do you remember about coaching Perron, and what does he bring to a series like this in terms of a challenge?
Very competitive person. You know, he's a gamer more than anything. I think David is a real gamer, very competitive guy. And, you know, he wants to win. I mean, he really does. That's what David brings, in my opinion, with the ability to put the puck in the net. You know, he's got a great shot, and but he's a great team guy and a very competitive person and player.
Is there anything in particular you want your group to remember about the regular season series against those guys, or is that kind of irrelevant going into this?
You know, it's talked about. We went over things and what we could have done better and what we didn't do well enough. I thought the first game, they were very good in here against us, and I thought the last two games were very low event, tight games that could have went either way, you know. So there's certain things you take out of that, but in the end, that's regular season. I think you got to look past that and get ready for tonight and not focus on those games.
Forward group going in tonight is the same as from game 82?
Yes.
Greg, what does Ottawa do best? What are they best at?
I think they've checked really well this year, in my opinion. I think that their structure is excellent. And they have a good identity of how they want to play the game, They go to the net hard, and they're around the net hard, and they're a physical team that challenges you in all zones very well. They're going to confront you. And they got some great players over there that with skill. 2 on the back end, and there's a number of them up front that are good players. So you're not going to get any easy ice against them. None. It's going to be a battle. Yeah.
What stands out about the level of physicality your team has played with throughout the entire season?
Well, it's important. I think that, again, it's identity, right? We wanted to instill an identity here from the start of the season, and I think we've done that. And I think it's gotten better and better over the year, and it's going to be physical, and you got to be able to accept that physicality. They're going to come at you and be physical, and got to be disciplined and understand that you got to win those battles. And on the other side, we got to be physical, and we got to if we can have the opportunities to get into guys and be physical on them, we have to. That's part of playoff hockey.
What was it like playing with Linus in Boston?
It was great. He's a great human being. We had a pretty good tandem there with him and Sway, and had some success over the regular season and whatnot. But I think he's a great friend, great person, and I really enjoyed playing with him.
You guys talked at all heading into this series?
Not much, no. Just wish him good luck, and that's about it. Aside from that, maybe we'll see each other after or whatnot. But like I said, it's just we're on different pages right now, and I'm looking forward to competing against each other.
What makes him a good goalie?
A lot of things. I think throughout this year you've seen his poise within the net. He's one of the guys that if you allow him to see the shot, there's a good chance that he's going to stop it. So I think we need to get some traffic in front of him and hopefully not allow him to see all the shots that are coming at him.
What have you learned about the way this D-core plays since joining this team?
It's been great. I think from a standpoint of just the whole defensive game of the entire team, if everybody's working hard coming back into the zone, it allows us to have good gaps, allows us to move the puck up into the forwards' hands, and that's exactly what we want to do with the amount of skill that we have up there. So, there's a commitment level to blocking shots as well. You see it from everybody. I think Mo had 7 blocks the other night. Tanny obviously broke the record this year for shot blocks. So, guys just committed to laying their bodies on the line.
How much does experience matter in the playoffs? They got a lot of guys making their debuts. This team's pretty veteran.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, there's nerves that are involved, but overall, you just want to try and stay composed and treat it like any other game. But your first time in the playoffs is definitely a cool moment, an exciting moment. You want to try and stay as composed as possible.
What do you remember about your first Stanley Cup playoff game?
It was a big one for sure. It was in 2019. I remember, I missed the previous 2 playoffs because of injuries, and so I had been watching on the sidelines for a while. I was pretty riled up, and first period, can't say I remember much, but aside from that, once you settle into the game, it's a lot of fun. The energy's great, and it's exactly where you want to be this time of year.
What's it been like to play for the coach who you watched hoist the Stanley Cup on your lawn?
Yeah. It's been good to gain a different perspective. I think before that I only had that image of him, in TD Garden and beating us. But, there's a reason why that happened, and I think he's a big part of it. I've loved his, coaching at this point so far, and just the way that he is, so relatable and able to communicate has been really nice. So I'm really enjoying being around Chief.
It's you're still relatively young, yet you played 75 playoff games. What have you learned on that journey heading into this week?
I think, like I said, just trying to not treat it too differently than any other game. You go out there, you compete, you do your best. There's going to be ups and downs throughout the series for sure. It happens that way every year, and it's an exciting opportunity to just kind of continue to grow as a human being, as a player. So I'm looking forward to that component of it all.
What's it mean to you, Bobby, to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
It's pretty sweet. I'm excited. Definitely watched a lot of games on TV, the Stanley Cup finals, or playoffs and finals, so I'm definitely excited.
What was your favorite playoff memory growing up?
Got to be the 06 Cup run with the Oilers. That was one that had everybody riled up and watching every single game. Remember all the players on that team. That was a cool one.
What do you think tonight will be like? What are you expecting?
Just a heavy game, a lot of speed. It's going to be fast-paced. I think everybody's excited, both sides. And then it's going to be a lot of battles around the net, a lot of of heavy battles down low, and that's going to be the difference of the game, I think.
What do you take away from the season series, if at all? Obviously, they kind of had your number.
Yeah, I think it was tight all the way through. I think games can go either way, so it just makes you think that every little thing matters, every little play matters, and it's all going to contribute to who wins the series at the end of it.
Obviously, emotions will be high. They're really good at drawing penalties. What do you have to be aware of when it comes to that?
Yeah, just understanding that we're going to play the game between the whistles, play it straight up. Try not to get in guys' hands or anything. We're gonna play it clean and play it hard, and try and win it 5-on-5.
Where are you at with your game? I know the production wasn't there down the stretch. Like, how are you feeling about your game?
Yeah, just trying to just get the details right and be excited for playoffs. I think there's not always times where it necessarily shows up on the score sheet, but trying to still generate chances, trying to get to the net, and continue to be hard to play against.
Will it be like are you a napper? Like, will it be tough to get down to this afternoon, you think?
Yeah, I usually nap. Try to nap at least. Yeah, I'll see what happens. I'll definitely lay down. I always lay down for a couple hours and just shut it off for a bit. So if I fall asleep, I do. If not, no worries.
Have you asked other guys in the room about like advice about playing the playoffs, and if so, what's their number one tip or piece of information they want to pass on to you?
I think that like nothing necessarily changes. We've been playing well all year. I think guys just say that the intensity ramps up, and then like you don't have to try to do anything anything extra, or anything different from your game. You just kind of bring what you've brought and just up the intensity, I guess.
So like waking up in the morning and game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. Sort of emotion builds through the day, and we'll get to the rink tonight and get ready to go.
You've been through this a lot over the years. The sense a lot of guys making their debuts. Like, how important do you find playoff experiences this time of year?
They're going to be ready to go, and they're going to be working extremely hard. And I don't think experience is going to matter too much tonight. I know their coach well, and I know they're going to be ready to play and ready to check and play extremely hard.
Did you watch the Jets last night?
I did.
Yeah. Seeing the crowd.
Yeah, crowd was amazing.
On the ice, like, what does that do for you this morning when you wake up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it does too much in the morning. I'm just going through my process to do what I need to do to get ready for the game. But it's fun watching the game last night and seeing how loud the crowd was, how emotional the game was, and obviously huge win for Winnipeg to come back in the third there.
Did you and your brother text during the playoffs?
Yeah, we'll talk a bit. I talked to him a bit after the game last night, and just told him good job. And it's a big win for them for sure.
Chris, you've seen your share of Kachucks out in the Western Conference, foe and friend.
Yeah.
Now you're going up against another one. You know what's going to happen after the whistles, things like that. How do you keep your discipline? Somebody that's trying to goad you into the stuff.
Yeah, we know he's a big body and he's going to be at the net and he's going to play physical. We need to match his intensity and stay disciplined. I mean, you see how many penalties were called last night, and there are a lot of power play goals. So power plays are so good right in the game right now. So I mean, you give a team 3, 4, 5 looks on the power play, it's going to end up in your back of your net at some point.
What stands out to you about Stützle?
Smart player, very smart. Knows where everyone is on the ice. Creates a lot of time and space for himself with how he skates and protects the puck. So obviously a big job for the 5 guys that are going to be against him on the ice. We know he transports the puck very well through the neutral zone, and as I said, he's really good at finding open space and creating space for his teammates.
What has OEL brought to this group this year?
A lot, competitiveness, experience, just some veteran savvy, great person in the locker room. So not knowing him before I got here, but playing against him for a long time, you know how good of a player he is, how well he moves pucks, how competitive he is on the ice. So he's been amazing for the group, and obviously we missed him when he was out, and happy to have him back tonight.
Speaking of getting guys back, what was your sense of Jake, you said fresh legs coming off the layup. Like, what's your sense of him?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, Jake's been great all year, so I mean, I've enjoyed playing with him for the majority of the year. We get along extremely well. We see the game very similarly, and we're able to bounce thoughts off each other in real time and make adjustments. And as we're happy to get Oliver back, we're extremely happy to get Jake back. He personifies a lot of how we want to play, and the leadership and the mentality that he brings is extremely important.
How can it impact the group when you have a coach who has won the cup as recently as you have?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he knows what it takes to get the job done. It's a long grind, shift by shift. So many emotions just throughout periods and throughout games, let alone series. So we're just gonna do our best to stay composed and stick to the process that's got us to where we are right now.
Is there anything you guys need to keep in mind from the regular season series against these guys, or is that kind of ancient history?
We've talked about what we want to do and what we expect them to do, and we'll be prepared tonight and execute our game plan as best as we can, and be a confident group and make plays, and hopefully use the home ice and the crowd and the building and the energy to our advantage.
These provincial playoff series are great for the fans, great for the media, but obviously, someone's going to be up, someone's going to be down. How do you, in terms of when you think about the process, do you shut out the media when you're in the middle of the series? Do you stay off the?
Yeah, I mean, I don't read or listen to much, so you get friends or family sending you the odd thing, but we're a tight group, and we want to keep everything internally as much as we can. I mean, we know and I know if we're playing good or if I'm playing well or if I'm harder on myself than anyone's ever gonna to be on me. So I mean, it's just staying in the moment. Things happen, you move past it, and you have to grow as a group and embrace the grind of the playoffs, because it's not easy. And there's, as I said before, swings between periods, let alone series, and this is a exciting day to get started.